Have you ever wondered how two vastly different countries like Russia and North Korea ended up being allies? Recently, North Korea has drawn global attention for reportedly sending soldiers and military equipment to aid Russia in Ukraine. This partnership, however, is far from new. We'll explore the history behind the Russia-North Korea relationship and how it has evolved to where it is today. Let's start with the present. Since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022, North Korea has stood firmly by Moscow's side. It was one of the few nations to vote against a UN resolution condemning the invasion. Later, North Korea recognized the independence of Donetsk and Luhansk, breakaway regions in eastern Ukraine. Reports emerged that North Korea offered military aid, including soldiers and equipment, to support Russian operations. In 2023, Kim Jong-un visited Russia, marking a new phase in their cooperation. The visit was followed by an unprecedented trip by Vladimir Putin to Pyongyang in 2024, where they signed agreements on trade, military cooperation, and even mutual defense. The foundation of this relationship was laid during World War II, when the Soviet Union liberated the Korean peninsula from Japanese occupation. In the aftermath, the northern half of Korea, under Soviet influence, became the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. The Soviets provided military, economic, and ideological support to Kim Il-sung, the first leader of North Korea. During the Korean War in 1950s, the Soviet Union backed North Korea with weapons, training, and advisors. This cemented their relationship as close allies, with the Soviet Union playing an essential role in North Korea's development. This relationship laid the foundation for today's alliance. Another crucial aspect of their connection lies in their geography. One unique aspect of the Russia-North Korea relationship is their shared border. At just 17 kilometers, this border near the Tumen River may seem insignificant, but it holds strategic value. It gives Russia direct access to the Korean peninsula and serves as a key geopolitical connector for both nations. Interestingly, this small stretch of land also prevents China from having direct access to the Sea of Japan. Despite China's vast territory, this narrow border between Russia and North Korea blocks Beijing's ambitions in the region, adding another layer of significance to their geographic proximity. Over the years, this border has seen limited trade but is now becoming increasingly vital as the two nations deepen their cooperation in the face of global sanctions and isolation. However, there were some cracks between two countries back in the late 20th century. The Sino-Soviet split strained relations as North Korea attempted to distance itself from both Moscow and Beijing to avoid taking sides. After the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, the relationship further deteriorated as Russia focused on building ties with South Korea for economic reasons. The dynamic began to shift with Vladimir Putin's rise to power in 2000. Putin sought to reassert Russia's influence on the global stage, and part of that strategy involved rekindling relationships with Cold War-era allies like North Korea. In the early 2000s, economic cooperation between the two nations increased. North Korea received food aid and energy supplies from Russia, while Russian businesses gained access to North Korea's labor force and natural resources. The two nations also signed agreements on infrastructure projects, such as railways linking North Korea to the Trans-Siberian Railway. By the 2010s, their partnership grew closer as both countries faced international sanctions, Russia for its annexation of Crimea in 2014, and North Korea for its nuclear weapons program. This mutual isolation pushed them to rely more on each other. Russia views North Korea as a useful ally in its broader geopolitical struggles. North Korea's munitions and manpower help sustain Russia's efforts in Ukraine. Additionally, Russia benefits from North Korean labor in its Far East region, where workers take on jobs in construction and logging. North Korea, on the other hand, sees Russia as a key partner for military technology and economic aid. Russian vetoes in the UN Security Council shield North Korea from harsher international sanctions. In return, North Korea provides support for Russia's global ambitions, including its campaign in Ukraine. What are your thoughts on this growing partnership? Let us know in the comments below.